Ma'am, I hate to tell you this, but you're walking into some pretty artsy camera angles. This will not turn out well for you. It's like you're in an A24 film if it was made by someone who worked at Forever 21.
The Creepypasta movie came out in 2023 to mixed review. Creepypasta, the movie, is an anthology film with 10, count 'em, 10 separate short films within its runtime. Now, these 10 films are held together with an 11th short film, which basically is a thread explaining why all of these videos are being shown. Now, behind the Creepypasta movie are some first-time film creators and some seasoned veterans like Mr. Creepypasta and Vincent Vinacava. Now, if those names sound familiar, Mr. Creepypasta is a very large narrator or reader of other people's stories on YouTube who has been embroiled in fraud and grooming children. Vincent Vinacava may sound familiar because that's his little buddy, that's his friend. It's someone who's worked with him on his channel for a long time. Vincent Vinacava is also somebody who tried to trademark the word creepypasta for their exclusive use. Now, at the time, they were putting out a comic book called Creepypasta, and so they wanted to trademark the title so that other people couldn't use it. Vincent Vinacava said he was trying to protect it so that other bad people couldn't trademark it. But then he, had a post up where he was asking directly, how to stop other people from using the word. It's a whole big thing. That's for another time. This is a movie review. This is fun. So yeah, Creepypasta the movie. I recently found out that this movie is actually free to watch, like on Tubi. Not sure where it was before that, if anywhere. So I decided to dig in and watch the Creepypasta movie and sort of give like a little review. So I'll watch this film and I'll, give it a fair shake. And, who knows, maybe it'll turn out to be an excellent oh, no. Now, if you check out Creepypasta movie on Facebook, you'll find that Creepypasta is a Screambox exclusive. What does that mean? I don't fucking know. We got the title, Creepypasta, and we've got the tagline. It's not just a story anymore. And I want you to keep that in mind. Keep that tagline in mind as we go forward. It'll come into play later. As you can see, it's self-described as the first feature-length horror anthology devoted to the horror fiction phenomena known as creepypasta. Now, the Creepypasta film started out with a very different cover, like a little VHS mock-up here. Very interesting. It's using clip art, which I guess is, par for the course with creepypastas. Like, the thumbnails for narrations pretty much steal images from across the internet. So having a stolen image as your first cover for your movie, whatever. The Creepypasta, the nightmare is viral. You may notice that's a bit of a different motto there on the bottom. And one other thing you may find in looking over their old posts is that this film was a contest, essentially. If you want your short film to be featured in the Creepypasta movie, all you had to do was submit it to them, agree that you would show it nowhere else ever, I guess, and not get paid. Because, surprise, filmmakers were offered exposure and a cut of profits should the film turn a profit. I don't think this film turned a profit, meaning nobody got paid. Now, that's just my assumption. Somebody out there, if you made a video that was featured in the Creepypasta movie, let me know. Did they ever pay you? But yeah, this gives us a little bit of information here. Send your submissions to Tony@schlockfilms.com. So we have identified the main organizing, company of this film, which is Schlock Films, and it was done in association with Midnight Hour. Midnight Hour being the trademarked name, or attempted trademarked name, of Vincent Vinacava and Mr. Creepypasta's production company. Now, you may notice something here, right on this rule right here. Let's take a look at this rule very closely. You must create your own original story and characters. As much as we love to read about viral icons like Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, and the Russian Sleep Experiment, we're looking for new and original tales of terror, not retellings of old material. Use your imagination and give the world new, original nightmares of your own creation. Dear viewer, dear sweet, humble viewer, I have a question for you. If this is an anthology of 11 completely original short films, how is this related to creepypasta at all? These aren't creepypastas. These aren't even based on creepypastas because it's against the rules of the quote-unquote contest. This is not related in any way to creepypasta at all, except for the fact that these are short horror films which are not creepypasta. Like, what the hell? This is a complete and utter lie. The premise from the beginning is a lie. It boggles my mind. You could have named this movie anything, and it would be, just as applicable as Creepypasta the movie, because this is not about Creepypasta. Now, there is a facet of this story where, at the beginning of the film, they say, a girl is missing who wrote creepypastas. And then that girl in the narration says, do you know what creepypastas are? They're horror stories on the internet, which is like very reductive, but okay. And that is where it ends. That is where the connection to creepypasta ends. I shit you not. This has absolutely nothing to do with creepypasta. So you might be saying right now, okay, these aren't based on creepypastas, but maybe they have the general themes of creepypasta. Maybe there's some sort of Jeff the Killer-like character. Maybe there's some kind of Smile Dog-esque creature, that type of thing. But I swear to God, these are some of the most generic indie horror films I have ever fucking seen. And I don't blame the filmmakers for that too much. I think it's the fact that this is for a contest. You're not going to enter your best idea into a contest for someone else's movie, for someone else to essentially have the rights to, to show around, and you can't show it anywhere else, and so on and so forth. If you're going to submit something to a contest and you can't show that movie yourself, like on your own channel or in any capacity, you're not going to give them like your A game just by default. It's a very bad setup for a contest. Especially one with no pay, where they say you get a cut of profits, and then the movie obviously is not going to make a profit, so you get nothing. So you may be saying to yourself, well, what are these films about? So let's go through them one by one. Now this is where you can tell that absolutely no thought went into how they were presenting these films. Right away, with the first installment, the first short independent horror film, it's in another language. It's not in English. The main film, the opening of the film, everything, tying this all together is an English film, English-speaking film. The very first one they put up, subtitles, non-English speaking film. That's going to shake loose so many fucking viewers. And it just goes to show they did not put any thought into what order they were putting the videos in. Like, you put ones that are non-English speaking, you put those a little bit into your film after people are invested. You don't hit them with it right away. So, again, just goes to show they were paying no attention. But putting that aside, let's quickly go through what each of these films is about. Story number 1. A woman in her bedroom is using her phone when she follows strange lights to her closet, only to be pulled under the bed by an unseen monster in the shadows. And then the monster uses her phone to call her sister up to the room. Story number 2. A pair of children in a bedroom are discussing an imaginary monster when one of them goes outside and is kidnapped by said monster. Story number 3. An old woman in her bedroom sees a small child in her house and then is pulled into the darkness by an unseen monster. Story number 4. A woman in her bedroom is pulled into the darkness by an unseen monster. Story number 5. A man in his home is using his phone when he's grabbed by a monster in the darkness. Story number 6. Mr. Creepypasta, who has no reason to be in the film at all, manages to overact through a mask without saying a word. Story number 7. A woman using her laptop computer to send DMs is dragged into the closet by an unseen monster. Also, she has a baseball bat. Story number 8. A little boy in his bedroom sees another little boy in his bedroom and an old woman in his bedroom, and the old woman comes out of his closet and then grabs him. By the way, all 3 of these characters are at one point under the bed. Story number 9. A woman in her bedroom calls a monster through the mirror who grabs her in the darkness, and then the monster uses her phone to call her boyfriend over. Also, she has a baseball bat. Story number 10. A woman tries to get a kid to go to sleep in his bedroom, checking under his bed for monsters before being grabbed by something unseen in the closet. Then she gets away, and then she gets grabbed by the thing from the closet. Now, if you're a clever little radish, you may have spotted some themes, namely things under the bed, things in closets, people holding bats, cell phones, bedrooms. You may have noticed that a lot of these films, when you pare them down to their most basic storytelling beats, are essentially the same story. There's a woman and she gets grabbed by a creature in the dark. Sometimes it's a man or a child who gets grabbed by a creature in the dark, but essentially they're all the same story. Except for the really weird one with Mr. Creepypasta. Now, what this speaks to is the fact that this was not so much a contest as it was just a catch-all for anything people submitted. If you submitted a short indie horror film to the makers of this movie, they would put it in the anthology as long as it was competently filmed. There's absolutely no attention paid to what stories are being told, what order they're being told in, or if they're telling the same story over and over again. This is the laziest fucking shit I have ever seen. Like, if you went to No Sleep right now, if you went to r/creepypasta, if you went to any story website, and you read 10 stories in a row that had the same fucking beats, the same fucking elements to them, you would be, wondering what the hell happened to the state of creepypasta. Why is everybody writing essentially the same story? And yet here we have 10 of basically the same story. There's a person, and maybe they walk around the house a little. Maybe they talk to some other characters. But eventually they end up in their bedroom, and there's either something under the bed, or there's something in the closet. Or, if they don't go to the bedroom, there's something in the hallway closet. Or there's something up on the stairs above them. It's all the same fucking thing. Person, setting, minor setup, creature in the dark. That's it. Over and over and over again, 10 fucking times. Except for the weird one with Mr. Creepypasta. I think the one starring Mr. Creepypasta must have been written by Vincent Vinacava, because it makes the boring ones that copy each other without meaning to, it makes those look like comparatively much better. Because the one with Mr. Creepypasta is like, what the fuck are you, why? Why would you do this? Just comedically bad. But yeah, so that leaves one more story. Because remember I said there are actually 11. The overarching story that connects everything together is that this man on your screen right now needs to find a video. He needs to find a video. Now, this video is on a thumb drive, and this thumb drive is in an old house, and this old house is owned by a missing 14-year-old girl, and this missing 14-year-old girl writes creepypastas, and so now she's torturing people by collecting videos of people's deaths to monsters that are not filmed found footage style, but are actually like short films with actual directing and cinematography, and she shows these videos of people's last moments before being grabbed by a closet monster to people who come to the house to find the blackmail videos that she has collected on the thumb drives, and as they watch the movies on the thumb drives trying to find the right one that has their own video, they start to bleed. And as they bleed, zombies get up in the house and they look at the person, but they don't do anything, and giant spiders, I guess, put their legs into the shot and don't do anything, and eventually, when the person finds their video of their blackmail material, they find out they're on a live stream, and then they die, so that they can't even have the shame or anything like any regret or remorse, or they can't be arrested, they can't have any comeuppance, they just die, which probably, death at that point is probably preferable to the video getting out, so you're, I guess, mercy killing them. And then the 14-year-old girl talks over a speaker to them as they die and makes fun of them. And I'm just as lost as you guys are. Suffice to say, the connective tissue between these films is literally a tissue. It is tissue thin. It is Kleenex thin. It does not make any fucking sense. And at the end of the whole movie, I'm just sitting here wondering, why was any of this made? Is this a tax write-off? Is this something where, somebody got a kickback to make it or something like that? I don't understand why this was produced in the first place. Because if you're going to do this, it doesn't take any real work to just tell people to send in creepypasta films. Like, send in, we're holding a contest. We're holding a contest for a certain number of films that will be in our movie. Okay, phase 1 of the contest, masked killers. Send us your masked killer video. Like, fucking Blueface Magoo, Eyeless Jack. All these different characters like that. Next phase, a stranger in the distance. the next phase of our contest. Send us your independent film. Send us your shorts about a stranger in the distance, like Slender Man, but not really Slender Man. You can get the theming in there. You can get that in there, and it doesn't take any work. All it takes is you setting some ground rules for what people are making. But you set no ground rules for what people were making, so everybody made a monster under the bed, monster in the closet, monster uses your cell phone story. And it's just fucking horrible. Now, I will say that there is one saving grace to this film. There is one moment in this film that brings it all together, and in my mind, takes a 0 out of 10 film to 10 out of 10. And I'm not fucking joking. There is one stellar, shining moment in this film that redeems the entire thing and makes the entire runtime worth watching. Now, one little side note I'll put in here is that it's really crazy to me that Trash Arts, one of the groups behind this film, actually filmed a short for the Creepypasta movie. They filmed a short for it. And when you look at the behind the scenes of what they filmed, you've got a dude with fucking papers on the bed, like little scribble papers, like Slenderman notes. You've got like shades of actual Creepypasta elements here. And I look at these pages and I'm like, what is this? What was this film? What was this short film about? It looks like the 8 pages. I mean, you've got maybe a little bit more than 8 pages here, but you get the idea. And I'm like, what is this one that was actually based on Creepypasta, and why did you not include it? Could you not leave out, like, the worst of what you put in? Like, I'm not going to, pick which one was the worst, because that would be kind of mean to the filmmakers. But leave one of them out. Put this in. It's got the elements of Creepypasta in it. Lead with this one. Because that way, it's leading with the one that has Creepypasta elements, and then maybe people will be fooled into thinking the other ones are related to Creepypasta at all. But no, I don't know what this film is. I don't know where it was put. It's probably just in a shit can somewhere, sitting on the shelf. So that's the Creepypasta movie. If you want to check it out on Tubi. It's free. I'll link it below. And as you are listening to this, up on my channel right now is a Riff Tracks inspired unofficial commentary track that you can play of me just saying a bunch of random stupid bullshit while the movie plays.
So you're just gonna go to sleep just like that. You don't have any inner demons. I don't trust people who go to sleep right away. You gotta have some inner demons. You gotta have some regrets, or I think you're a sociopath.
So if you can't get through it on your own, you have a little Slimebeast to listen to along the way. And hey, if for no other reason, watch it for the unlicensed Captain Spaulding cameo. Won't you? If you liked this review, let me know with a like, a comment, a subscription, whatever you want to do. Just let me know if you liked this, and maybe next we'll watch Creepypasta DeathNet, a film that is made, it seems, by entirely different people. And hey, it can't be as bad as... Oh, God damn it!